Hey guys, so here's a little pool update for you. I know my last video was, I had it labeled at first as a review, but really that was just like my first impression, not really a review per se. This is Coleman Swim Vista Series 2 at 22 by 52 inches. And we've had it up for about a month and a half, 2 months now. It hasn't really been warm enough for us to be out in it yet. We're just now starting to get a continuous cycle of warm weather. We have had an awful lot of rain. One thing that I will say about the really pretty dark blue lining that you see in the bottom of my pool. The older Swim Vista ones had the lighter blue. This has a darker blue. And if you can see, some of the lining has faded. And that has to do with adding chlorine and adding shock to the water. Here in Tennessee, we get nothing but rain. I promise you, every day of the week, almost, it has been raining over the last, I would say, 3 weeks, month or so. Even in my fill-up videos where my girls were getting in it, it was getting ready to rain that day. And so I'm just walking around it. Everything's holding up really well. I'm really pleased with this pool. It doesn't sound that rickety. Like when we were in the Intex, these things would kind of squeak as the pool would shift from people being in it. It would kind of squeak and make noise. This doesn't. This is a lot more sturdy. I don't feel the same instability as I did, because if I were to pull on the Intex pool like that just a little bit, it would actually rock and you could see the water move. This is not so much that way. The lining is almost all the way stretched out. There is still that one spot right there where it hasn't yet. That's just because of how we dug the ground up to make the pool a little bit more level than it was. And I did just vacuum and clean out the inside of this pool the best that I can. What I will say is, if you have a Coleman or Intex pool, for vacuuming purposes, you're gonna need to invest in a canister for all your dirt and debris to go into. The reason I'm telling you that is because you can take your Skimmer basket out. Show you what I mean. You can take your basket out where it's collecting debris and put your vacuum attachment, which is this, right over top of there. And then what's gonna happen is it's gonna go all down into your filter basket. Or you can leave your basket in and then just put the vacuum attachment in on top of it. But what happens is you lose prime very quickly. And what I mean by you lose prime is because the debris, especially if you have a lot of debris in the bottom of your pool, the debris is going to fill up this basket very quickly, which is going to put air in your line. So when you lose prime, the way you're gonna know it is, see that? You're not gonna have that there. All that water that's coming from the return will not be there. You won't be able to see it. And then if you put your hand in front of it, there's gonna be no pressure. And then you're gonna hear water, not water, you're gonna hear air being trapped under there. It's gonna make a sound, or the pump is going to be making a funny noise while it's on. So that's how you're going to know you've got air in your line. And I know a lot of people know that. but a lot of people who are watching these videos don't know about how to take care of these pools. So I'm letting those people know what's going on so that I can be sharing information for them. So you do need to purchase a canister for that reason, to catch all the debris. So the canister will go onto your vacuum attachment, and then your vacuum hose connects to the other end of that canister, and your debris will all go inside that canister instead of it going in your skimmer or to your pump filter basket. So as of right now, that's the only complaint that I have about the skimmer. Otherwise, I have no complaints. So it's keeping the top of my water clean. It's looking really good, and because of the fact that we have a bigger pool this year, it's not a hell of a lot bigger, but it's 4 foot bigger than the one we did have all the way around, which does make a lot more room in the pool. I did get my fountain over here working. This is the old Intex water sprayer. It has the same concept as their new one, which is like a waterfall. But anyway, it does work. But I'm still having the problem where there's not enough room on my plug outlets to plug in both of my pumps at the same time, so I keep having to unplug and replug things. And as you can see, my skimmer has a great deal of suction. Remember how I was telling you in my first video how the skimmer would actually suck my chlorine floater up into the skimmer mouth? So you just saw it firsthand. It's doing it again. In front of there. It actually sucked itself. And that stuffed cat right over there does it too. I found that in there twice today. So you do get some hella suction from this skimmer. Some of the silicone that my husband put on here came off. It's not silicone, it's some kind of waterproof stuff that's supposed to have silicone in it. But I told him all he had to do was seal the, the backside of it. But he wanted to be extra cautious and make sure it wasn't going to leak. So the one thing that I will say is, the fact that people say that you lose suction if you're not using both of your intakes to your swimming pool pump are wrong. Actually, in only using one intake for my skimmer from this big ass, I can't remember, 2,500 or 3,000 gallon per hour pump, it's very powerful coming from only one intake, and it makes that skimmer hella powerful. It will suck any and everything up in there. And then the fact that my fountain or my water sprayer is only running by one intake because of the other pump that came with it. Now they said this was a 2,500 gallon per hour pump, but I'm not going to believe that. It's a pump that came with the pool, and they're always undersized. So anyway, the water sprayer, when I first turned it on, it was literally shooting water all the way across the pool to almost my ladder. So I had no way to control the flow from the pump, like not even half kind of control the flow from it. And I had all kinds of pressure. So I came out here and I put some valves on. This is the return valve. It goes to the sprayer, and then of course that's the inlet. They're not ball valves, so you can't really control it all the way. If you're just trying to get it to come back a little bit so it's not like so far across the pool and shooting you across the water. You can actually close this valve just a little bit and it'll slow it down a little bit. That was my whole purpose on putting valves on there. And my husband had to bring this sprayer into the house to work on it a little bit, because I don't know if I said anything in this last video I made, but water was leaking from it, like all from like where those cracks are. It was leaking out, and it was causing water to come down the side of the pool, and it was leaking really, really bad. So he took it in the house and he opened it up, and he took like some silicone gasket maker stuff and sealed it off, and I left it inside for about a week to let it all dry out, and then brought it back, and when I did plug it in, it did work. So I'll show you the pump, not the pump, I'll show you the fountain the next time that I come in for an update, once my situation with my plug is better. Because I told him, even I said, look, I want to be able to run both. I want to be able to run both of my pumps at the same time. So the skimmer is just absolutely perfect. I have almost no floating debris off the top of there. I just absolutely love it, and I literally have no complaints about it. It's just, I don't know, I can't stop bragging about it, how well it does, and I'm so sorry that I didn't get one before. I really am. Alright guys, well, as you can see, it collected a big pile of dirt right there. Some that I didn't get, because like I said, it's very hard to vacuum this pool when you don't have a canister to catch debris. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and have a good one, and happy swimming.